Hi there. Today I want to talk to you about how to get your business mojo back. Now, I know that the last few years have been pretty challenging. Is that a good word to describe it? Yeah, it's been quite an uphill struggle for many of us, and some of us are only just feeling the impact of everything right now. But that aside, I think, to be honest with you, I've been in business for well over 20 years, and I know that there are times in a business, even if you love it and you love your customers, you still lose it. You still lose that passion. You still feel down. Getting up sometimes in the morning can be quite tough, and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, maybe it's time for me to move on from this business, or I'm just not feeling it anymore. What's wrong with me? I can't be creative in it anymore. There's just that whole lack of, well, mojo. Yeah, you just don't feel it anymore. And this can have a knock-on effect into your life as well. So it's really important that we have that great balance between what we do in our working day and what we do in our life so that we can, it feeds off each other. So we've got this positive energy all the time. So we're really feeling, you know, vibrant, that we are actually just feeling good and we're, having that feedback within us, that energy comes back into us, that goodness, and that's what we emit out to the world as well. So, how do you get it back when you lose it? You know, we can lose our mojo to a number of reasons. It can be something that's happened in our life that's made us think twice about what we're doing in our business. It could be, and a time of ill health. It could be a struggle, an uphill struggle. It might be your ill health, or it might be someone else that's close to you is suffering from some poor health as well. It could be that, for example, at the moment there's a bit of an economic downturn. There's a lot of negativity in the news in our country, in the UK. There's an upset about the government. We're going through the reality of coming out of the European Union, and it's a little bit unsettling. So our our normality has changed, and therefore sometimes that energy shifts and we get influenced so much by what we see on our social media, on our news, or just in media in general, and also what other people are talking about around about us, and that can have a huge dent in our feelings and where we're moving on to. Another thing that might be influencing you is perhaps if you're a parent, then you might feel that there's a time where your kids are maybe moving on. I'm going through a similar stage just now where my kids have got older and they're at this point going, I'm thinking about going on to university or into college, and things are changing in our lives. Our dynamics have changed, and it's starting to make me think, well, oh gosh, they might not be home every day very soon. I might not see them for months on end, and then they might move out forever. And where does that leave me? It sort of has that impact on what you do and where you go, because you think, well, is this what I'm going to be doing every day, day in, day out? Am I going to dedicate more time to my business? What's happening with it all? There might be issues about climate change as well that's affecting you. It does affect how we all run our businesses, and it should affect how we're all running our business. So we should be taking that into account. But yeah, there's lots of reasons why our mojos maybe are affected just now. And why you might be struggling to get it back. But before you throw the towel in on your business and think, I'm working all ends, it's not working, I don't have the passion for it, I'm not earning enough money perhaps, or there's just too much to do. I've not got enough time. I'm missing out on time with my family and my friends. I've got no spare time to do anything whatsoever. Then I want you to put the brakes on and just stop and just take a deep breath and realize that this is just a moment in time, and this is just an accumulation of your thoughts right at the moment, which is getting backed up and substantiated by your feelings, and these two things are igniting each other. So we need to stop the cycle. We need to just sort of take a step back and look at this in a realistic plane and a realistic point of view. So first thing I want you to think about is what you stand for as a person. Now, we all stand for something. We've all got a passion point. We've all got a reason d'être. We always want to put a point across. I want you to think about yours. I want to think about what makes you go on and talk a lot about it. What makes you feel passionate? What makes you feel maybe angry? What makes you feel frustrated? What gets a fire going up in your belly? What makes you debate things with others? What makes you stand on that soapbox and really, fight for that cause? What makes you upset and cry? What moves you emotionally? Because when you find that, that is what you stand for. So, for example, I'll give myself as an example. There's a number of things that I stand for in life, and a number of things I get very passionate about. And a lot of them actually stem from when I was younger. And these passions have lived with me all my life. And sometimes I've dampened them and not looked to them because of the consequences. Because sometimes our passions are something that are controversial or something that's not supported by many. And so I've got a few things that I'm extremely passionate about. One of them is, as you could probably tell, I like to help women, and I'm very passionate about equality. So not just for women, but for also men. I want everything to be equal. I've never understood the difference. From a very young age, I couldn't quite understand why I wasn't allowed to do things, but the boys were, and it just didn't make sense. I couldn't get my head around it. It was just something I didn't understand, and I still don't understand it. It's almost like a void in my brain going, but I can do these things, so why am I not allowed to? And I did try to stand up for it as a young person. The days were different then. I didn't get the support that from a lot of people, and a lot of the strong women that I knew were still not hearing their voices. And if I would ask them as a young person, why haven't you started a business, or why haven't you gone to work full time, or why haven't you go on to be an artist, or why haven't you taken up dress design because that's what you're keen and passionate about? And they'd all turn around and say, well, you know, I have to do this first. These are my priorities, and well, it's just not right, or it's just not for women, and I'd have all these excuses, and like one of them at the moment is really coming to mind is the football. As Euro 2020 has been on, and I've seen England get there and push through these barriers. The football team has done amazing, and they have done that along with other countries' football teams that are played. It's women that are playing this soccer. So when I was little, I wasn't allowed to play football. The school didn't allow it. We were chased off the fields, we were threatened, and we eventually were bullied by the boys. But eventually, it was the school teacher, the only male school teacher, bar the headmaster, who actually told us, "You're not allowed to use the field. If you do that, then you will be punished." And the rest of the teachers in the school were all female, and not one of them took a stand for us. Nobody. They didn't care. They didn't know. It was like, oh, girls playing football. They're just, causing a fuss. They didn't realise that we actually did genuinely want to play. So that's my passion, or one of them. And so that's why I come on to help female entrepreneurs, because until there is that point of equality, until there is that point of consistency, and we don't have to think about it, and we see equality in business, because I've been in business for over 20 years, and I have seen discrepancies in this, and so I just want to help and support them so that we can all work together and not have these divides anymore. So that's my passion. What is yours? What is yours? What is yours? Is yours about the environment? Is yours about women? Is yours about men? Is yours about children? Is it about healthy eating? Is it about being, the need to be creative in the world? There's a lot of things going on at the moment that don't support creative industries, whether that be theatre or music or art. Think about your passion. Is it food? Whatever really puts fire in your belly, then you need to think about it, and you need to then write it down, but go over it in your head. What triggered it? What made you feel more passionate? What were the incidences that got this inspiration, this feeling inside you? And then look at your business and think to yourself, what am I doing in my business that represents that as me as a person? Because you have to bring yourself into your business. You have to be authentic. You have to show your authentic self in your business. And unless you are showing up and being that person and representing your passions, then you're not being authentic and you're not getting out there, and your customers and your clients can see that. So you need that to drive you. You need that to get up every morning and say to yourself, well, what am I doing this morning? Oh, I'm going to business. No, what am I doing this morning? I'm getting up this morning and I am helping to create balance in this world. I am helping to restore this. I'm helping these people achieve this. This is my passion. I want these people to get better. I want these people to feel happy. I want them to feel secure. I want to know that the products, whether that be physical or an online course or service, I want them to know that these products are just going to change the world. It's going to be good, and it's going to completely be in, you know, in balance to what I believe in, what I'm strongly representing in this world as a person. We're on this planet for a very short time. We have to make sure that whatever we believe in, we fight for and we get noticed, get noticed for it. Okay, so that's the first thing. You're going to make sure that you find that passion, you readdress it, you revisit it, and you become reconnected with it. And so make sure you immerse yourself in this. So if it's something that you've been missing or you've been not focusing on for a while, you used to, perhaps there was a group that you used to be in that supported a certain cause, then go join it again. Go talk to people again who ignite that passion, and see how you can bring that to your business. Because at the end of the day, that is your soul. That's what's going on inside you. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that I would suggest you do in order to get your business mojo back is set business boundaries. Okay, so I'm not setting life boundaries, I'm setting business boundaries. Normally when we talk about boundaries in business, we talk about time, okay? That is one huge element. You have to set time limits in your business, and that is like time limits for when you start and finish in your day. Make sure you do finish and log off and walk away from everything. But it's also setting boundaries of saying, well, I want to achieve this, or I want to create that. And you set a time, you sit down with your diary and you say, this is when I have to achieve it by. And so you focus on it and you get it done. And there's a huge sense of achievement when you do that. And it's not this whole thing that overhangs and nags at you all the time. It doesn't become a chore. You just get on, you focus, and you get it done. So time boundary is important. But the other types of boundaries I want you to look at is social media and media boundaries. I want you to look seriously at who you follow, what you listen to, what you watch on the news, what you read in papers, and what you immerse yourself in all the time. So I don't want you to be dwelling on things that are toxic. It's hard sometimes to identify toxic media because we're so drawn into it, and a lot of the people who put the toxic media out are apparently coming from a place of wanting to help and wanting to move you forwards and want you to be feeling all right. But a lot of their message is really quite, it's really triggering for a lot of people. I mean, to be honest with you, majority of posts that are on social media trigger everybody at some point or for some reason or other. We're all triggered by different things. But I think, to be honest with you, a lot of this stuff is, it's quite devious. So please do be careful with what you're watching. And yes, okay, it's good to know what's going on in the news and what's going on in the world. But at the same time, if you're not in a place that you feel you can accept that, or you're feeling low in any aspect in your life, then don't add to it. Just draw that line and say enough is enough, and I can't cope with this just now, I'll deal with it later. That's fine. It's not your issue, and that sounds really mean and sick and everything else, because I understand that you will care about what's going on in life and what's affecting other people, but you sometimes have to take a back step and think, if I just lived in in a tiny wee world with no media, and I didn't know what was going around about me. What's affecting me right now, this second, this minute? What is influencing me, and what do I do, and what actions can I take in order to change that and make it better? Because the things that you see on the news, you can maybe, do fundraising, or you can spread the word and, get causes seen, etc., etc. But there's only a limit to that. And yes, you can contribute to it, but if you start dwelling that day in, day out, and the first thing you do in the morning is sit and read your news, and then an hour later you read the news again, and you're reading it again at lunchtime, you're reading it again at dinner time, you read it before you go to bed, it's just not going to help you at all raise your inner energy and get that mojo back. So do set a time boundary on that. Stop scrolling all the time. You don't need to be on social media day in, day out. It's not real. It's not real life. You need to get out the box. And this is another thing I need to talk about another day, but it's one of the reasons why a lot of people come to me and go, I've not got clients. It's because you're not getting out the box. You're stuck in your own little world on social media, and it's comfortable, and that's you're stuck. You're not actually getting out there. You're not realizing, oh, there's a real world out there. There's people I can talk to, down the street, in real life, face to face. There's a whole other ways that we can meet people, and we do get locked in. So that is one other type of boundary that you need to put in place. And then another one is who you mix with. So we're talking about people who are online and offline. It's very easy to get sucked into people online who are like your business friends. Sometimes they're not. So you've got to be very careful about who you make friends with. And also, so the best way to say this is really, are they sucking the energy from you? Are they, whether it be business or through your life, do these people come to you for advice all the time? Maybe they never take it, but they always suck your energy with it. And perhaps, they go, oh, I'll meet you for a coffee. And rather than just having a nice talk about what was on the telly last night, or what they're doing at the weekend and how the kids are, they'll basically suck you for information on how to resolve one of their problems. They'll sit and they'll just go on and on and on and on. And that's fine now and again. Yeah, you need to have, chats like that. Sometimes we all need that. But when it happens consistently, when you're constantly meeting people and they're having the same conversation with you over and over and over again, and you're beginning to go, oh my God, this is just not good, and it's producing anxiety inside you, then you have to stop and pause that relationship and move on. Or limit, put a boundary on it, or say I'm not talking about this. And if you're a coach and you have a friend who does this, which I think we've all been there with that one, if we've been a coach, you have to draw a line and say, well, actually, this is what I teach, this is what I help people with. So if you want some more advice than this, because this is not, this is not my working time at the moment. I'm here, I'm here on a social. So if you want time with that, then book into my diary and we can have a one-to-one on that. And I'm so I'd love to help you with it. But you have to draw that line and say, no, not today. No, you have to get paid for that. You went to uni, you went to college, you worked hard to get the qualifications to help other people when you're a coach. It doesn't just come overnight. You don't just wake up one morning and go, I'm going to be a coach and I'm going to teach people on this. You have to build this up with years of experience, knowledge, and qualifications. So you can't just give that away for free. At the end of the day, if you're an electrician, you don't come to somebody's house and you are the whole house and not ask for a penny. It doesn't happen. And I bet you the time as well, if somebody did come to your house to do that, the person would probably offer you money or offer you something in return. So let's get that straight as well. So that boundaries are huge in business. So this is business boundaries you must put in place. And also there's just the ekes in a little bit to the life boundaries, but the majority of it is business boundaries. You say, no, business is this, it's for these working hours, I get paid for it. These are the people I want to talk to. These are the people who make me feel good. The rest of you, bye. Okay. So that's the second point I want to say about getting your business mojo back. And the third one is to ignite creativity in your life. And this might sound a bit bizarre because it's but I'm trying to get my work done, I'm trying to create a business. When you lose your mojo in your business, you will lose desire to create things. You'll lose the desire to want to chat to people and get your energy out and be who you are. You'll just want to go, oh, I can't be bothered today. Let's not bother. Look alive? Nah. What's the point of that? Send an email. Why should I? You get to that point. So you can't have that. You just can't have it. You need to have that. Wow, I need to do this. I need to get in there. I need to share passion and my knowledge, and I need to help people. So in order to get that feeling of lightness and creativity and joy back, then you have to feel relaxed and you have to trigger off certain neural pathways in your brain. And the way to do that is by taking the time out of your business to, when you're not in your business, you're not working, then to do things that are creative. So whether that be playing music, listening to music, singing along to music, dancing to music, and make sure the music's good upbeat pieces. Whether it's reading books, perhaps it's been a long time since you've read a book. You're always like, oh, I really want to read this novel. And I bet you've got loads that are sitting there either on your Kindle or on your bookshelf that you've always wanted to read. Get lost in a novel. It might be a rubbish novel, doesn't matter, whatever it is, just take that time and read. It might be cooking. You might love to cook. You might like to create new dishes or try something new. You might have a cookbook that's been on your shelf and you're thinking, I really should try something out of here. It might be baking something unusual, or it might be trying a different type of foods, some Oriental cuisine perhaps that you wouldn't normally cook, or vegan, vegetarian. I don't know. Just sort of inspire something, do something outside of the norm. What else can you do to be creative? So obviously there's artwork. You can sit and draw if you're not an artist. Perhaps you could do some colouring in. There's some fantastic colouring in books out there at the moment. I've got one, and it's like a fantasy world, and it's just like random pictures that you just colour in. It's like things that really shouldn't connect and be together, but it just is, and it looks fine to me, and you add your colours and you think, oh, you just spend an hour or so, well, maybe I'll fit it into your schedule, but I quite like sitting an hour to do some colouring. So you choose all your colours and you get them all out, and it just makes you lose some time in your mind and just chill out. There's also exercise, yoga, breathing, meditation, that side of things that can really spark creativity as well. If you're into your aerobics or you're into running, cycling, go out, go into the fresh air, go into nature. That always inspires you. What else? Journaling again is really good to do, particularly at the end of the day. This is something that I do. For the morning, journaling doesn't work for me. It makes me a wee bit, I've got to get up and do things. I don't want to journal just now. What I do is I quickly write some things down before I go to my bed at night. I offload. So perhaps you've had a day that's been rubbish, or you feel that you've not achieved as much as you want to, then I have a book that I just write down the things I did achieve. So rather than the to-do list and everything, I actually write it down, and that helps to reinforce the positivity. It helps to say, actually, Gillian, you have done this today. This is a step towards that goal that you're trying to achieve. This is big. Okay, so it might just be the smallest thing. It might just be, oh, you created 5 social media posts today and you scheduled them. If I've got a busy day, why not celebrate that? The fact that I actually did that, that's pretty darn good. That's like 5 days worth of getting out there and being visible. Great stuff. That is part of my goal. Let's tick that. Let's make sure that that's celebrated in my book each night. And it might also be social personal things as well. So we've got to remember we need a work-life balance. So it's not all about your business. It's not all about your work. It's not all about generating income. It's not all about your clients. It's about you. In fact, it's all about you. And so I also write in wee bits that I might do. So if I finished a book that I've been wanting to read, then I'll write in, yeah, I finished my book. I like knitting, and I find it very meditative. I enjoy doing that. And so if I've sat and I've done something like that, or I've created something, or I've worked on a project, then I'll write that in my book, and I'll say, oh, well done, you've actually ticked that aspect in your life. You've actually said, I'm going to take that time out, that me time. and it's written there in black and white, so I can actually see it on a page and that I've actually done it. It's very hard sometimes when you look back on a week and like try and figure out what exactly you did do, which was contributing towards this, great balance in life and your happiness. And when your mojo's down and when you're feeling a little bit down or anxious, or you might even be borderline depressed with everything that's going on, then do you know something that really does help, just to reaffirm some positive things in your life, to actually say, I am doing this and I'm taking the steps, so you can be proud of that. Okay, so that's my 3 things. So firstly, to get your mojo back, I want you to look at your passion, what what drives you, what gets your heart going, what your whole purpose in life is. As again, think back to when you were a kid, what got you rallied up, what made you want to show up. Think about that and how you can bring just a bit of that into your business. It might have nothing to do with your business. It might not, you might think that your business and your life passion are completely like this, but you kind of need to sort of get things aligned with it, because that's your passion drives you. So you need to take a pinch of it. And even if it's, say, you might have a coaching business that, I don't know, let's just say that you teach people to get really fit for marathons. Say maybe you coach marathon runners. So this is just an example, and yes, you want to get them to achieve that, and yes, you're all about physical fitness and all the rest of it, but your big passion in life might be that you want to save the planet, or you want to help kids in third world countries to go to school. You might want to boost their education systems. You might want to raise awareness for that. There's a whole lot of different things that you're passionate about. So you could also bring that into your business. You could also say, well, maybe annually or or biannually, you do a fundraiser for it, and you get people in to run a marathon or train for a marathon or a virtual marathon, you for that cause, and you get that passion, so that you're always putting your life's mission, your life's passion into your work. And that just all sort of starts to connect if you know that you're going to do that. So the bit in between might be a bit maybe some days, but know that you've got that to work towards. It's just an idea. It's just a thought. So your first one's you're going back to your basics and your basic passion and getting that into your business. And the second one is get your business boundaries sorted and making sure that you're putting limits in things that aren't so positive. And making sure that you are turning that computer off at the end of the day, you're walking away from your work, and you're limiting the amount of negativity that you're exposed to, and that be media or face-to-face people. And then, of course, I want you to ignite your creativity with whatever ways that you enjoy doing that sort of relaxation, and ways to get those neural pathways triggered, and that creativity will flow into your business and into your life in general, and you'll feel so much better for it. Right, so these are my 3 points, and I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you'll put them into action. The next time you feel that your mojo is just a bit, and that you're facing the thought of, I don't want to do this anymore, don't walk away until you've worked on that, because believe you me, you'll regret it. If you put a lot of work into your business, don't walk away from it. Just take small steps and you'll get through it, and I am here to help. So remember, you can join me over in Facebook. You can find me at Clarity Junction, and you'll find all the things I'm up to there. But for now, I shall say goodbye and enjoy your day.